Hi, welcome everybody. So I'm Cheryl Hung. I'm the Director of Ecosystem at the Cloud Native Computing Foundation. And today I'm going to talk about how the Kubernetes community has grown to its present state, what's the role of open source foundation like the CNCF and what does it actually do. And then I'm going to look at some trends that we've seen through 2019 and some upcoming challenges from 2020. So Kubernetes is one of the highest velocity open source projects ever. This graph plots the top 30 projects across 3 axes. So the x-axis is the number of commits, the y-axis is the number of pull requests and issues, and then the size of the bubble represents the number of authors. So Linux is the purple bubble to the top right-hand corner, and Kubernetes is the pink circle that's sort of to the left of that in the top middle. But Kubernetes is rare, if not unique, in the open source world, in that it was defined very early on as both a project and a community. And the community looks like this. Kubernetes is made up of 1.1 million contributions from 35,000 contributors and more than 2,000 contributing companies. And what we're seeing over time is that these companies are getting more and more diverse. So initially, Google and Red Hat made up 85% of contributors. Today, they make up around 35% as other companies have been getting involved. The same is true of the countries that the contributors are located in. So the USA originally made up about 80 to 85% of contributors. Today, that's about 40%. And I would love if this bubble for Australia and New Zealand also was bigger the next time we come here. So the CNCF is a neutral home that hosts these open source projects. So my perspective is that I was originally an engineer at Google. So I was building features on top of Google Maps and deploying it using Borg. And Borg later inspired Kubernetes. So my mission at the CNCF is to now drive the adoption of these projects by working primarily with end users. But in practice, I think the CNCF does things that open source developers don't want to do themselves. So we provide marketing, we run events like this one. We provide continuous integration resources for testing, do security audits, hire technical writers to do documentation and translations, and we hold the legal trademarks for these projects as well. And every year, we also run regular surveys to take the pulse of the community and see what challenges are coming up. And these numbers that I'm about to show you have not been published anywhere. So these are a sneak preview of some of the numbers for 2019. So the results of this come from about 1,100 responses, about 65% of whom are software engineers or sysadmins, the rest sort of managers, directors, and so on. So you probably won't be surprised to know that containers are pretty mainstream, and 85% of people said that they were running containers in production. But large container deployments are increasingly common. So 19% of people said they run more than 5,000 containers. 15% said that they run more than 5,000 machines. That's bare metal or virtual machines. And 10% even said they run more than 50 clusters. And the top challenges that respondents said that they're facing are the cultural changes to work with a development team, security, as Liz just spoke about, the complexity of the overall solution, and then a lack of training and expertise. So here are some of the other challenges that people face: logging, monitoring, storage, and so on. And what I want to show here is that over time, these challenges are slowly going down. So each bar represents surveys from 2016, 2017, 2018. But overall, the trend is going down as more tools and more resources are available for people to solve these challenges. Some of these include CNCF projects, and we're seeing that Kubernetes, Prometheus, Containerd, Core DNS, and Envoy are showing increases in production since 2018, and FluentD, gRPC, Jaeger, and Linkerd are roughly stable compared to 2018. And a little bit more detail about how people are managing complexity. 44% people said they use service mesh, 70% are auto-scaling, 50% using serverless. On the other hand, most cloud-native storage options are lagging behind. So we're seeing that people are evaluating storage, but they're not yet running things like OpenEBS or Rook or other storage projects in evaluation. And let me pause here and ask, how many people are evaluating containers or Kubernetes at the moment? Maybe 10%? How many people are running all their stateless applications within Kubernetes? Okay, probably a quarter, a third. How many people are running the stateful applications as well? Okay, probably about another quarter. Okay, that doesn't add up to 100%, but never mind. Okay, so the upshot of this is that 55% are saying that they release at least daily or weekly, and 80% have at least automated partially or fully their release process. So I think this is a positive trend towards a GitOps model where we're doing smaller and more frequent releases. So some takeaways for you. Cloud-native deployments, they're getting larger, they're getting more sophisticated. The most common challenge now is actually working with the developer teams and making the changes needed within the organization. And lastly, the increased release automation is paying off, and we are seeing this smaller, more frequent release cycle. We're going to publish a lot more numbers in the next month or so, couple of weeks. So look forward to that on the CNCF blog. These slides are available on my blog at oicheryl.com. Thank you very much.